Hello? Beep, 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 beep. Hello all, and how are we? And welcome to the Court of the Edijester. An urgent Jester special here, coming straight at you. In regards to an article in the Times. Oh, please do become a warrior teacher starting in May. Buy me a coffee, the usual stuff. I'm getting, what's the word? Fed up of not getting any traction because I'm shadow banned or whatever else it is. I don't think I am on Twitch, strangely enough. Stonewall tried to silence warnings of weak evidence for trans healthcare. Former leader defends group stance after it advised schools to shred a resource pack highlighting the dangers of puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones. Metaphorical heads on metaphorical spikes. What I'm seeing now seems to be an awful lot of inertia. We need some reports to the police about these people. They have endangered children. What was it Dinner said? There's got to be a law somewhere here. There's got to be conspiracy to commit GBH on children. There's got to be some way we can get them in law. If not that, it's got to be a prevent issue. Surely. This is absolutely appalling behaviour. Stonewall tried to suppress early warnings. Speaking for the first time since the publication of the Cash Review, Baroness Hunt of Bethnal Green insisted that Stonewall always supported call for evidence led. Just beyond the pale. However, when campaigners sent out, it wasn't campaigners, it was people who knew what they were doing. When campaigners sent out resource packs to schools in 2018, warning teachers that there was little medical evidence to support puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones, Stonewall sought to have them removed from schools. The evidence-led approach advocated by the resource pack was sent out to thousands of schools by the pressure group. Transgender Trend is not a pressure group. They've done the most extraordinary stuff for schools. Stop calling them pressure groups. They're reality, individuals who understand reality, who are trying to stop these ghouls from hurting children. Much of its content that was in the original documentation from Transgender Trend in 2018 has now been held to be true by Dr. Hilary Gass. It told teachers to be aware of growing concerns such as the high rates of autism and mental health issues among young people being referred to NHS gender clinics and of the sudden unexplained spike in distressed young girls identifying as transgender. Right? It advised them to be cautious if supporting a pupil's social transition, pointing out that very few come off the path of increasingly invasive medical treatments. Everything that we said about safeguarding. Everything was there in the pack in 2018 that Stephanie Davis-Arai and the team over at Transgender Trend produced and then took the time to send to thousands of schools. Right? In response, Stonewall Scotland told its tens of thousands of followers on Twitter/X, "We, in the strongest possible terms, denounce and condemn this publication. If it lands on your desk, do the right thing. Shred it." Unbelievable. Negligence, at least. A further Stonewall statement branded the pack as dangerous material, masquerading as a professional evidence-based advice. One thing we want every educator to be clear on is that they must have nothing to do with this deeply damaging publication. Stonewall directed teachers to its own Create a Trans-Inclusive School course, which they could attend if they paid membership costs of £9 plus VAT. Then they've got a picture of that vacuous arse, Baroness Hunt. Take her lordship, that whatever it is, or ladyship, or whatever it is, remove it. Get her out of the house. She has no right to be there. None. Screenshots seen by the Times reveal how Stonewall also pressured local authority leaders to direct schools in their area to ignore this advice. In its newsletter to school leaders, Warwickshire County Council wrote, "Please be aware. We have been asked by Stonewall to advise schools that this does not reflect good practice and is actively misleading around schools' duties and role in supporting trans children and young people." A similar warning was circulated by local authorities in Hertfordshire. There should be Black Mariahs going around picking these people up. Black Mariahs. Get the police out with their riot gear. In they go. Right, come on, you desk jockey. Get in the back of the van. Metaphorical heads on pikes. Hunt, 44, denied that Stonewall bore any responsibility for the toxicity around the issue, which Cass said must stop. Nothing short of a police investigation and prevent involvement, hard left communist activity If this was the right wing doing this, they'd have had them all in the back of the Black Maria within minutes. But because it's the lovey left, they're not going to do it. They bloody well are. Prevent needs to look at this. Prevent needs to look at this. Because queer theory, gender identity, it has absolutely no other purpose than to undermine the Western way of the world. And Hunt is right at the heart of it. It's perfectly legitimate for Stonewall to advocate the position that trans women are women. It doesn't say trans women, and if you disagree, we're going to do something terrible to you. Oh, this claim is disputed by critics of the Workplace Equality Index. It's not something that you can dispute. It's a fact. Men can't be women and women can't be men. Cut it out. Stop it. Hunt said her only regret was trusting the experts. So here she goes. She's going to blame somebody else. Her only regret was trusting the experts, such as Dr. Polly Carmichael, the former director of the Gender Identity Development Service. I think there was a responsibility on the NHS, schools and social services, so it wasn't in my gift to either make this better or worse. You disingenuous, lying woman! Right? You, Polly Carmichael, right up the chain. Pert walk. You wandering past the entire population of the British people and looking like you should, which is utterly ashamed of your involvement in this medical scandal and this child experimentation, which dwarfs next to anything else other than eugenics, which is what, in essence, you've been practicing, because they had to trans the gay away from the effeminate little boys and the masculine little girls because it didn't fit in your gender boxes. You are exactly what you say you aren't. Exactly what you say you aren't. We've seen you before. And anybody that supports this, exactly the same. Right? That's in the Times. That's what they did. Shred the document because it's not real. They didn't even look. The council's passed it on. They didn't even look. This is negligence at the highest level. At the highest level. Every step up the chain. That's what it should be. Criminal investigation. Right? We just have to find the right law. God knows I'm not a lawyer. I'll see you later. I'm so angry these days. Ah! Goodbye.